Hey guys, we're back here again. It's your boy Ocey Phillips, and I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. So what I'm going to do now is do a breakdown of Parlour Caribbean new e-commerce marketplace, right? So you're gonna dive right into it, and I'm going to basically do a quick deep dive on it using free Google Chrome extensions and just paint a clear picture, right? So as you could see here, Parlour Caribbean, right? New e-commerce marketplace backed by TSTT and another silent partner. And of course, we're at about what we're looking at 39, close to 40 marketplaces that exist in Trinidad and Tobago. This one's supposed to be a little bit different. Of course, we see straight out the back they use O-Deliver and TT Post. I've had horrible experiences with TT Post. O-Deliver is, however, okay. And you can see straight off the bat Visa, MasterCard, First Atlantic, and bank transfers, right? So if we dive into the platform itself, free Chrome extensions we're looking at, they're using Zendesk as a back office management CRM operations management platform to really deal with queries, any sorts of operational things that has to do with management of the platform. They're using that. Very distinctly, they're using Magento 2. For those of you who don't know, Magento 2 is owned by Adobe now. And it's a very robust platform if you're looking for scale. But of course, with that comes a lot of downsides, and I'm going to show you all. Of course, we have Google Analytics, AdSense, that's okay, Tag Manager. What's really impressive is Algolia. Algolia is a search engine. It has many different functionalities, but I think for this, they're using it for product, and that their product search engine model really and truly speaks to matching products on the platform with Google searches. So ideally, it's supposed to help with on-site SEO and general SEO, of course. For those who don't know, Amazon has their own product search engine called A9, and that is why sometimes, even if you're looking for something in a market, an Amazon product still shows up ahead of local products, right? So for those of you who are looking for a product search engine, Algolia is there. It's good, but it should be used. You have to strategically understand how to use it as a part of a strategy. As it is here, I'm not seeing it being used as a part of a strategy, or at least not used as efficient as it could be, right? Live chat, they have Zendesk. Issue trackers, they have Zendesk. Again, we see that for operational stuff, how they're going to use that to really operate. And a lot of other miscellaneous other tools here, with Pack Open Graph and stuff. One and two things for A/B testing, one and two things for load speeds. And basically, most of them are just for building the robustness and the features of the site, right? So if we dive into one marketplaces, a lot of people have this notion that build it and people are going to come. Straight off the bat, I see there's an issue when you're saying, all right, become a seller, right? Of course, I think I don't know if it's on my laptop or what. There's this black here banner here. It's causing some issues, and you don't see the sign in or the create account unless you hover over it. So first of all, I would have done a very much redesign of the UI and the UX because it's really really tough to use, right? And back to my point, even if I'm doing it as a seller, the reason why I'm saying that is because they use site search, because they use Algolia for site search here, right? You're looking to become a seller here. If you're charging pro, elite, and enterprise functionality, they're building this thinking that people will come on the site and the site will generate traffic, right? When the very first thing with a marketplace is that chicken and egg problem, where how do you match demand for buyers, customers versus product versus for the merchants? So you have to show these people, here's what we have: a demand, we have traffic, and I don't have any free tools that would show traffic, but I will show you all, right? So even if we dive into the tools, here's how the SEO has a problem. So you recently launched, very first thing, title of the platform has an issue. No description for SEO, right? Robot tags, all of these are the downside of having Magento as a platform. You need additional add-ons for key indexation to match every single product so that these products are then showed on a Google platform or showed up on a search engine, right? And not just Google, but Bing, all the other search engine. Keywords here are missing. Word count could be okay. It's 1,000, but it's a home page, so it's going to be pretty long. And a lot of other issues are missing here, right? And of course, this is just free tools that tell us all the issues here, right? We're not even diving into the paid tools, right? We're looking at total links, unique, internal to external. There should be a lot more external linkage. Of course, that drops the SEO score immediately. Images without alt text, that is good. One, it's good, they could fix that. That helps with reverse image searching and image searching for people who use things like Google Lens and stuff. Once that image is indexed correctly, then they show up on image search or reverse image searches. If you're looking at without title, this needs to be addressed. And I wouldn't go as technical into the other SEO type things to confuse people, but we're just trying to keep it a little bit cool. This tool here shows me an overall snapshot of Parlour Caribbean's overall website score. And if we're looking at a major platform, a TSTT backed initiative, this should not have been launched, right? This should not have been launched at a 43 overall score. There are something that's passed, but there's too much errors on the site. Even if we just go straight back to the errors, we can see everything. There's URL issues, huge problems for SEO scores. No sitemap found. So that means Google itself isn't indexing the site to show. So people are going to pay money to subscribe for something and Google isn't even indexing it to show. So if somebody in Trinidad comes up and say types in a local product that they have on the site, it's not going to show up in a Google search because the sitemap is not indexed by Google and Google doesn't know. Here's what, let me match this relevant search with this relevant product on this website, right? Underscores, structured data, and this definitely needs a whole SEO overhaul, right? Not just SEO, but content marketing, and not just that, but UI, UX, and how you navigate the platform, right? Just for ease of use, we're looking at a different report here, and we will see what this report here generates, right? Length is too short, and this just shows a lot of other issues, but it gives you a different perspective, right? Like I say, I'm just using all free Google Chrome tools, and I will show you why and a little bit of experience. This is GT metrics, right? GT metrics, of course, they rank factors are differently. I wouldn't go into all the technical parts of it, but they give the website performance score a 76 or a C in general. Issues with the structure, again, structure has a lot to do with how search engines index your site and provide information. And if this is anything under 90 for an e-commerce marketplace, then you're doing very horrible. You need to get this up because you're going to find people are paying to subscribe on a platform, right? And when they subscribe on that platform, they aren't getting the searches. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, people have to pay to see reports. Reports are a paid thing here for listing on the platform, right? So you have the summary, you have a little bit for the performance, you have a little bit for the structure, right? And here we go into the next free program that we're going to use. And this is Google Page Speed Insights. This really analyzes how the website loads, page speed that affects bounce rate, and a bunch of other metrics that Google ranks your website on as a detractor. So this determines if they're going to push or pull traffic from it. And of course, this performance score by Google itself, search engine with the most market share, especially here in the Caribbean, we're looking at a 17 performance score, which is extremely horrible for mobile on top of that, right? So you're looking at how horrible it is to navigate the site on mobile, and all these are errors here, right? So it's clear to see that before launching that they did not do a proper audit to say, all right, cool, let me improve this, let me improve that, and let me tweak the site to get it up there, right? Even on desktop, it's a little bit better, but 32 out of 100 is still really horrible. For even just a blog site, much less an e-commerce site. If you're selling your own products, much less an actual marketplace. Because what happens is they have to find SEO for each product category, each industry, down to each product, right? And I'll show you all exactly how this affects a lot of things here, right? Even if I go to a product, right? Everything, if you look at, you're comparing this to Amazon or major e-commerce marketplaces, you can see SEO is being affected by a lot of things, right? How they have their product descriptions here, the way they lay it out, and again, this is a Magento function, the way it's laid out here has an issue because this is not even being indexed by a search engine either. So all this is good to look at here, but what this is ideally is an online classifieds. It means that somebody has to come onto the site. When they come onto the site, they have to search here, right? And when they search here, then that search activates when it shouldn't be that. If I have an issue and I'm looking for, hey, iPhone, Apple Watch series, right? Let's see if it actually works. Apple Watch Series 7, right? And I go to Google. By the way, happy Independence Day to Trinidad and Tobago. Apple Watch Series 7, right? SEO should show Parlour Caribbean. Apple.com shows up first. Apple Watch Series 7 shows up, right? YouTube video shows up. GSM Arena shows up. Mac Rumors shows up. Amazon also shows up. Best Buy also shows up. But there's nothing here that shows Parlour Caribbean shows up for a product. So merchants are going to be here thinking, hey, my product is there live, right? And somebody's going to buy it. But that's just one indicator of how, because you don't have that sitemap and Google and search engines aren't able to do that, you're having some issues there, right? Even if we look at chair airings, I think this should be, or let me try one of the local featured sellers, all right? Vendor products, sugarcane, Caribbean rum cake. This should probably yield some results because this is a very, very, very long tail keyword, right? Sugarcane, Caribbean rum cake. But we're just doing this to see if it actually shows up on parlourcaribbean.com. So of course, recipes, and this is what search engines do. This is what Google as a search engine does. It tries to show a searcher most relevant issues, and so you see where there are images, because on the first page where I showed images and index here, right? There's images without an alt and without a title, right? The title isn't tagged here, so it's not going to show up on an image search. So Google is saying, hey, this is the best information that I have to show you here. But because you haven't just indexed that, because you haven't put Caribbean or sugarcane Caribbean rum cake in the title, it's not going to show up on a Google search, right? Right? It's all these people that have that in their keywords and the site are optimized is there, right? So Global Kitchen Travels and all these other food blog sites would have that because they actually put the name and it's indexed here, right? So I just showed you guys two options, right? A very local tailored product and a very, very, very international product. And we've seen here clearly that Parlour Caribbean or the marketplace doesn't even show up on a search, right? So this begs a whole different set of issues here now. So the site really has a lot of optimization to do. I would change the UI UX. I would change the look and feel of the home, of the actual homepage. I think it's a little bit more robust. It should have a lot more suggestions. The color scheme I think is a little bit off. But I'm not the best designer, so I would stay kind of far from that. But that's just for me. In terms of functionality, there needs to be a little smoother site search and navigation, right? So when you get to a marketplace, there's multiple categories, there's multiple types of products that you have to comb through, and that could be tedious to some people, right? So there's something called the paradox of choice and paradox of search. That kind of psychological strategy needs to be implemented into not only UI UX but the functionality that you're going to build into it. The site search that has some work to do. The filters and the facets. How do you navigate the actual categories? Because you're telling me home and shop, but you're not suggesting any type of categories here, right? All this white space could be used, and these four products could be made smaller into a smaller space and give me options that I could click and navigate through, right? These banners here, and I guess this happens when you use a template, because 9 out of 10 times Magento 2 has a marketplace template that they're going to use. And of course, Magento 2 for the technical people, the technical part of it is built on a PHP stack, and that's not really a main skill set that you find. It's hard to find a PHP person to come in and do that, or it's pretty costly to find an outsourced company who works directly with PHP and that to get it done, right? Of course, we're giving them all due respect for being a new player in the space. I just like to think that because you're coming from a professional standpoint, TSTT has been around for years, and you're launching a product, that you would launch something that has a better overall look and feel and score and functionality score, right? here, if you can see how this looks, right? They need to change the layout of this, our people, our products, our platform, and we need to look at all these codes here. These links send people to shopping guides and stuff, but it doesn't do much for different types of learners on how to learn to navigate the platform, right? So that is me, and that was just my little initial breakdown. Stay tuned for our next breakdown where I dive deep into paid tools and how I'm going to break it down and show you how they fare against competitors, the actual pages, the traffic the pages get, the keywords versus other things, and a bunch of other stuff. Right? So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for your time. It's your boy Ocey, and I'm out.